Try this.
And kaboom, and you know where that goes. All right, so
Would the car blow up too?
Car perfectly fine.
Martin, his super force protected the car too. I don't know.
You saying the last thing you want to shoot yourself with is something that has an engine full of gas.
Hey everyone, Double Toasted live in Las Vegas is coming up very soon, October 8th. Join us for a night of comedy, music, games, and a big after party. First review this evening. We got Sylvester Stallone as a super garbage man. Right? Boy, he'll take out your garbage like nobody else will, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless this movie's garbage, which we don't know. We just got this today. Well, we do know. We're just not going to tell you yet because we're going to review. Martin's already made his mind. Some old bullshit for this one, right? Martin's like, you know what this is. Yeah, that movie should be in that trash bin right there. No, listen, you know how we are. You know how we are. We don't tell you what we know until the end of the review. You'll get a hint of it as we talk about the movie. We just got this today. Last minute. So I do hope I'm not going in and violating any kind of embargo, anything like that. But we're here. We're going to talk about it. And this is the latest entry in a very, very crowded area, the superhero genre. But hey, Sylvester Stallone is not just any actor. Therefore, we hope that he's not just any superhero out there. And plus, how many superheroes have you seen that are full-time garbage man? You know, in this one right here, he is a full-time garbage man. Why would a guy who has super strength, was loved by the city, why is he just a mere garbage man right now? You know, he used to take out the garbage with crime. Now he is literally taking out the garbage here. The thing is with him is that something happened in his past. And just like, a lot of these stories right here, you get you always get the reluctant hero, the action hero, the noble hero, the superhero. Something about their past just made them say, F it, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Being a hero is a hassle. The hell with these people. They ain't getting any better. They're all assholes. I never made a dent in anything in this city at all. So what's the point?
Certainly didn't make any money at it.
Certainly none at all. This man didn't have no savings. he just went to his account one day and said, "Damn, is the city hiring?" So,
I should have been charging for saving lives.
Yeah. God damn, what people? He was on that Peter Parker plan. But then across the street, little nose ass boy sees him and assumes that, hey, that's the hero known as the Samaritan. I know it. How are you going to tell the world about this superhero that you've seen when that superhero doesn't want to be seen? Well, hey, you know what? I'm a cute kid, man. Maybe just like all these other movies, I can form a special bond with him.
If I get my ass beat enough, he'll have to come save me.
Or not. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Samaritan.
You mind your business, I'll mind mine.
I don't believe you!
Now they meant to hit him because you can't miss his big ass.
well, plus they didn't put on the brakes at all.
I know.
They just kept on going. They kept going, man. Either they meant to hit him or that driver had to take a shit or he was late for work or something because they did not stop at all. I like the way. So I just got to comment on this, man, because I didn't think about this before. I like the way he has, since he's a garbage guy, I like the way that he has his Batmobile is a garbage truck.
Try this.
And bang, kaboom, and you know where that goes. All right, so
Would the car blow up too?
Car perfectly fine.
Martin, his super force protected the car too. I don't know.
You said the last thing you want to shoot yourself with is something that has like an engine full of gas.
I'm gonna say this phrase. We've seen it all before, and people like, of course, we've seen everything. Ain't nothing new out here. So why you starting to nitpick? And listen, people, just hear me out when I say this. We've seen this all before, but hear what I'm saying when I say that. Now, when I say you've seen this before, I'm being very specific about certain things. You've seen this before. You've seen these elements, these story beats, these characters. You've seen them all before in things like RoboCop, The Crow, Batman. I won't even throw Blank Man in there. You've seen it.
That's a very obvious one you don't seem to be mentioning.
Oh, which one? Which one?
Unbreakable.
Oh, Unbreakable. Yeah, Unbreakable is, I mean, I'm talking about the ones that are really, really, like I'll tell you why I didn't put Unbreakable in there. Because I think what Unbreakable doesn't have that these other movies have, these other movies have something, like if you look at them, they're almost the same movie. Except with different things. Now, what Unbreakable, it's close, but it doesn't have the same thing that these movies do. So, because when I'm looking at this, all these movies open up the same way. And this is where it's different from Unbreakable, Martin. All these movies open up the same way with, let me see if I find it here. Like, all these movies open up with the city all gone to shit.
Yeah.
With this, the city is dirty. People are poor and angry, and there's always a news report. Crime is on the rise. There's always got that. You always got that dude or that reporter saying that, man.
It's funny, when you're a kid and the reporter says crime is on the rise, you go like, oh yeah, crime is on the rise. As an adult, you watch the news, they don't never say that.
No, they never say that shit
about what's going on.
But in Gotham, in Blank Man City, in Detroit. It's not like the way all these others are fictional, but Detroit, that's some real shit. But in Detroit for both, I believe, RoboCop and The Crow.
Yeah, and plus it was in the future.
Yeah,
where really, really bad.
Yeah, it's either like another alternate world or the future or something. But it's really bad. Here we have Granite City, and in Granite City they kind of go overboard with it. Like sure, crime is on the rise, but damn, people don't have to be rude. There's about 2 or 3 times in this movie where somebody says, "What you looking at?" I mean, there's a point in here where you see that part that dude was on the bus, but that was an old woman who wouldn't bother anybody. This dude's like, "What you looking at, old woman? You want some of this old woman? What the hell you looking at?" And Sylvester Stallone bumps into a guy coming out of a store, and the guy's like, "What you looking at?" It's like, Jesus, that Christ. I mean, I know that people aren't happy, but
yeah, you got to pick fights with everybody who looks at you.
No, it's at that point now. It's like, why are people even living here? At this moment, it's like I'd rather move to a small city and work at Dairy Queen than deal with people's bullshit in this city right here. Also, with I'm looking at what the city's like here, man.
Yeah,
because you got Sylvester Stallone, who we've already established. Sylvester Stallone is a super garbage man. But this man he's probably got the easiest job in the world, because people in this city, they don't throw trash away in trash cans and garbage cans. They throw that shit. The street is their garbage can, man.
You're right. It was light day today. All the cans were empty. All over the sidewalks.
Yeah, it was just trash everywhere, man. I mean, it's almost like that's the movie's like definition of crime and the city gone bad. It's just people just wiping their ass and just throwing stuff in the middle of the street. It's like, what are you picking up in these trash cans? The funny thing is, you find valuable shit in the trash, like clocks and radios and things like that. The rest of the trash is just in the middle of the street. You know, so
it's garbage.
Yeah, it's just garbage everywhere. So that is the thing with this city, man. It's like this dude he ain't got shit to do. Them trash cans and bins are light as because ain't no trash in there. See why you took that job. The villains are the same that you see in these other movies, man. These villains that you got in this movie right here, they all ride around in gangs. The leader right here, he's all serious while his henchmen are cackling around him the whole time.
One of them is a sexy woman.
And one always got a sexy woman in the crew. He might be hitting that, he might not be. They all drive muscle cars everywhere they go. Here's the new thing now. The new thing is facial tattoos. That describes criminals like hardcore now. That's a new thing that says villainy. Let me see if my man has it right here. If he has what I think it. Okay, so they don't show it, but like on the other side of his head, like he's keeping it old school. My man has that snake villain on the other side of his, that snake tattoo on the other side of his head.
Right. It's on his head where he's got it shaved. So if he decides this isn't the life for him, he can just grow his hair out and go get a job on Wall Street.
Exactly. All right, he can go carry out garbage with Sylvester Stallone. Here's the thing about, and I forgot to put this picture up here. This is what I don't like about tattoos for villains. As a guy who's all tatted up himself. What's that?
Yeah, you a villain.
You're a villain. You played yourself.
And I probably shouldn't say anything because I have a snake tattoo on my arm.
Oh,
maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I need to go do some crime.
Why didn't I see it?
But yeah, Martin. So, hey man, if I put a gun to your head one day, you know why. But the thing is, with a snake tattoo, as far as describing somebody as a villain, I was like, that shit don't fly no more. Ever since The Simpsons once they had a villain, their main villain called Snake, who had a snake because he had a snake tattoo, I was like, that shit is not edgy anymore at all. So there's a lot of, this is what I mean by, you can see a lot of these things, man, where they are so similar on their own. And the thing is, you're saying, a lot of these movies are good movies, man. You're saying it's like it's a bad thing. Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna pass this on to Martin right now after I make this point. But the thing with these movies, yes, that's why I have to be careful by saying all these are the same, because I just mentioned all of these, man. All these movies have the same elements. All these and there's more out there, I'm sure. But the thing that really separates these films from each other, and especially separates them from mediocrity, is that they all had something that made them stand on their own. Even though they had all the same elements, they stood on their own and stood on their own for the most part as either good or unique films. Like RoboCop. RoboCop had a cool character and had satire and dark humor that was almost a character itself. The Crow was just pretty much getting by on great mood and just a great, sort of goth style.
Well, yeah, it had the goth aesthetic.
Yeah, it did. Look, Batman. The gothic feel of Gotham. Sets that apart, and plus Batman. I mean, fuck, it's Batman. Come on, why am I even going into it? Shit, even Blank Man had his own weird thing. While we have it up there, it's not a good movie, but it definitely stands on its own. That's the thing about
true. It is that thing where, hey, yeah, it might be terrible, but it's not forgettable.
That's the thing about it. There's certain things. Blank Man's a terrible movie. Look, I won't say terrible. Blank Man's not that great of a movie, all right? But there's things I enjoyed about it because it was his own weird little film. Whether you think it's terrible or not, it does stand on its own. And see, for me, that's the biggest problem with a movie like Samaritan. None of it stands on its own at all. I'm not gonna even say it's terrible. You can tell right now, I'm definitely not saying it's good. But goddamn, just stand on your own. There's nothing here that really says me. With this movie right here.
Like it has no original ideas.
No.
Bro.
Oh, okay.
It opens with an animated sequence telling you the origin of Samaritan and his brother Nemesis. I was like, man, y'all couldn't come up with no better names than Samaritan and Nemesis. The bad guy's name Nemesis. God damn. All right. Okay. And they do it in an animated style, and you really just over live action just to save money. Yeah. But they whip you through that origin and how they broke up, and now nobody's seen them forever. And you're like, well, okay. I mean, it'd be nice to actually see it so I got to know these people. So this would mean something, but whatever. And you get into this. It's all the cliches that Corey mentioned before. And the movie, it cheaps out in a bunch of different ways throughout the film where you're just like, all right, y'all. I mean, you got Stallone. Is that what happened? All the money went to paying him? And
probably.
There's nothing.
Okay.
I mean, it's never that terrible to where you're like, F this, but at the same time, you're just kind of like, please do something. Please. Just anything.
Yeah, man. No, it's, listen, I would tell you, because Martin's right. Look, that opening, you being kind of generous with that opening, man. You being very nice with that opening. That opening ain't nothing. They try to make it look like a comic book style. And that shit ain't nothing but a After Effects filter that they put on there.
I know. They don't even commit to that. I mean, that's a big problem with the movie is a lot of things in it they don't commit to.
Yeah. And see, that's a big problem for me that they started out with this comic book style, because I would tell you, at times where I'm saying that this movie, it doesn't have its own personality, because, that's the thing. Samaritan is the movie that is derivative of all the things that we talked about. The city is just a dirty city, man. It has no big personality. The story is typical adult befriends kid stuff. With no satire or no amazing art direction or no weirdness to it. It's just kind of there. They could work to its advantage sometimes, because I like the fact that it is a superhero movie that's playing it plain. It's a superhero movie that cleverly does not rely on costumes or CG, which is what people are complaining about. So this could be a superhero movie that's kind of an anti-superhero movie in a way. But at other times it just fits. But at other times it just feels like a superhero movie that can't afford costumes or CG. So
exactly. Yeah, it never feels like it was a choice. It's like, this is what we got. And I could forgive the cheapness if they could just write some of this better. Like it's really inconsistent in people's characters or like the things they do. With Stallone's, his character's powers. Sometimes he can take a bullet, but then he can't. If he gets stabbed, it don't work. They keep adding things to it, like, if I get too hot, then I'll explode. Wait, what?
The hell did that come from?
But where'd that come from? And he's a garbage man, but he finds things and he likes to fix things. It's like they're pulling stuff from just everywhere. We'll just pile on stuff to give him character, and yet he doesn't really have character.
Yeah, he's Stallone. That's his character. That's it.
That's
it's
his
kind
character.
And the thing about it is, you're right, Mark. Like, they never, like, he's a guy that collects garbage, and I guess because he likes to fix them. But why? We don't ever see him fix shit. He just sits at a desk. We don't. Once he picks that trash up and takes it back, we don't see that stuff again. We don't know what he's doing with that. He might be making bombs for all I know.
You know what? He's probably like most people here who pick stuff up and you plan to fix it and you figure out you're just dancing somewhere and you're going to get to it one day. And years later, you still haven't gotten to it. But somebody tries to tell you like, no, I'm going to fix that. No, leave it alone over there.
Yeah, he's just a hoarder. So he's got a mental problem.
I was thinking like, he's just a hoarder.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah, he's just taking garbage and making more garbage in his house. That's all he's doing.
Honestly, I felt like this was written like it was for a kid's superhero movie, like written for a kid who finds a homeless guy who's a superhero, except it's full of violence and cursing. So it's like, all right, it's written on this level, but y'all trying to be up here.
You should have done something where you went ahead and just said, let's not go into the whole superhero thing. Let that be something that they talk about in the past. Let's approach it from a realist. Now, again, this is me making up my own thing, but I think it would have been better if they said, let's approach the realistic results are, the realistic repercussions of what this man has done after the costumes are out the way. It looks dirty and nasty, but I'll even say that it's not cheap. this most of the money was spent on like small explosions and stunts and wire work and
wire work.
Yeah,
I think the money went to wire work.
Plaster walls, breaking down doors, and foam and all that kind of stuff. It just, all of that. That costs money. And so I'm not gonna say that it's cheap. It ain't like an independent movie or like a movie like we said the other day, a cheap movie from the '70s that we talked about with another Sylvester Stallone movie. But what it does with this is that it makes it feel like what it is almost to a fault, and that is a streaming movie. So.
Yeah, for the most part with the cheapness, I was like, hey, look, you got the money you got, and you just do what you can, except for one thing. They have a scene with the de-aged Stallone, and it looks exactly like cutscenes from a video game.
Oh no!
It's just one where I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, and they put his face up there too, boy.
Yeah, close-ups on it and everything. Because at first it's kind of far away, and you're like, well, all right, but they get right up in it. And
what the is this?
he was like, oh, I'm sorry, where's my controller? So you get ready when the scene is over.
Yeah. There's certain parts where they show that they do not have the money.
Yeah, they ain't had that Marvel money. They couldn't do it.
They did not. They did not. No, yeah, hey, work within your means, your budget. They didn't know. They didn't. Quit trying to have ambitions and shit. No, they didn't have. He had no money. I ain't gonna say they had any money at all. But compared to Marvel, hell no, they had no money, man. They could have saved money if they used HelloFresh, and maybe that could have gone to the budget. HelloFresh. First of all, HelloFresh, they are farm fresh ingredients delivered to your home within a week, and they include step-by-step recipes. And here's where the money or the time saving comes in, because these meals can be done in about 30 minutes or less. They also have 20-minute meals that can be prepared. It's cheaper than eating out. Nobody's tell you that. You know that. Also, it's I would say, you want to know how much? It's 72% cheaper. I know people ask me that all the time. It could be like, look, that's not an exact amount, but it could be around 72% cheaper than eating at a restaurant, and also saves you money at the grocery store. There's money right back in your pocket right there. You can mix and match these meals. Maybe you're someone who's eating a lot of vegetarian, but hey, I need some of that protein up in me right now. You want to put a little meat in there? Or you've been eating a lot of meat, need to sprinkle a little green up in there. I know phrasing. I know.
You're doing an ad, so I wasn't going to say nothing.
Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm talking about food, your nasty ass. Hey. But if they did serve the kind of meat you thinking up on HelloFresh, Martin, they have a lot of variety to go with it. And a lot of these meals are healthy, man. Very healthy. They even have fit and wholesome meals that are ready for you over here. And as I said, recipes ready for any kind of season. We just got through with the summer. They have our summer's still in effect, but they have a lot of recipes mainly for the summer. Got recipes coming up for the fall. So they always keep things, emphasis on fresh. They keep things fresh. They keep things interesting. Always introducing new recipes out there for you. Here's the funny thing about it is that I told you that when I say we, my wife and I, we love HelloFresh, man. Whenever they send us a bag and we get a new recipe, we get on that immediately because we cook together. I tell you, it's kind of our date night. I'm over here in Istanbul right now, which is why it looks like it does on the camera. But she did say to me, she's like, you know what I want to do when I get back? I want to cook with you, which means she wants to cook with HelloFresh right here. So look at that, people.
That's sweet.
It is. No, and I'm being serious. She's like, I got back. She said, do you think HelloFresh sent us anything? I said, well, if they did, they ain't fresh no more because they ain't there. But women love to see you cook. If that's your thing, you're out there single, you got a new date coming over, get this HelloFresh right here and start cooking something. Don't even tell them it's from HelloFresh. Just cook it and impress them. And I tell you, those women they're gonna be very impressed with you. Gonna make you that much more attractive. So keeps you healthy, good food, makes you sexy. What more do you want from HelloFresh? Well, I tell you what you want. You want 16 free meals and 3 free gifts, and that's what you're gonna get with this. Go to hellofresh.com/doubletoasted16. Use the code doubletoasted16 and get 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. people, you know you want this, so go ahead and get on it right now. And I want to thank HelloFresh for sponsoring this portion of the video, and I want to thank all of you out there, as usual, with your sexy selves out there, for the support. All right, let's go ahead and get back into this man over here. I'm gonna tell you something. What's that?
Yeah, it's garbage, man.
This it's like not just man, but this garbage man over here. Let me find this dude in this trailer. I just saw him a little while ago. But this, I want to see what Martin thinks about this man. This villain that we got in the movie. What makes so
Michael Shannon?
Yeah, baby Shannon. Pilau Asbeck. He's this guy is a big character actor. He's mostly playing villains. You've seen him in Game of Thrones and a lot of other stuff, man. I like the actor. I do, and I think he's good at playing villain. There goes that snake, man. That's what
No, I think he's effective. It's just too bad it's in this movie.
Yeah, listen, the problem with this man right here, I like the actor. I even like the villain. It's just that the villain, his motivation, he don't know what the he wants. He don't know what
it makes no sense.
It makes no this man.
Sometimes he has superpowers and sometimes he doesn't.
This man, yes, this man, the main villain here, this man he don't know what the he wants. He has a thriving criminal empire. I mean, he's doing well. And he's throwing it all away because Samaritan hurt my feelings. Where did you go? You left the people. It's like, no. It's like you got everything. And here's what don't make sense. This man did you a favor when he left. Yep. When he left, like your business is thriving because Samaritan is gone. No, man, Nemesis, that's my man. That's who I like. I said, man, you child. You know what?
Even everybody who's getting interviewed on the news and Samaritan's back. Why did he leave us? It's like, I feel like your government has left you way worse than Samaritan.
Yeah.
It's about him.
Yeah. Where's the mayor? You know, it's so light on character and shortcuts, man, that, you know, it's one of those scenes where a guy gets on top of a car. It's like, hey, is everybody with me? And everybody's kind of like, that guy's talking loud to stand on top of a car. Yeah.
Did you hear what he said? No, but he looks cool. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a snake on his head. Yeah. I'll follow that guy. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Jeez, come on, man. I really, not that I expected a lot out of this movie. I really did not, but come on, man.
No, I didn't either, but it just was places throughout. There's a certain level of quality where it's like, man, you guys, you really could step it up. And I don't mean spending more money. I mean spending more time, making this make sense, making characters that you feel something for instead of just watching them go through the motions and doing things that are counterintuitive. That's what really bugs me.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense here.
Early in the movie, I thought, you know what, man, this could be interesting if they do this certain twist. And at the end, they do it, which I was shocked. But by the time they do it, it's like,
you don't care
it's
anymore.
Too late. Yeah,
you don't care.
This doesn't change anything.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to mention that. I even have it in my notes right here.
Yeah, that's how forgettable the movie is.
Well, yeah, no, it is. That is how forgettable it is. Martin hit it. I have it even in my notes right here. Biggest problem for me. The story does something later. I'll read it to you. The story does something later that does make it stand out. Doesn't commit to the smartest idea in the movie. You know, this should have been a family movie, or with the twist that they have in this movie right here, it should have been rated R. Like if it had been the same movie all the way through up until that twist and lost its shit at the end where it was just a massacre, where it was just bloody, it was crazy, I would have been like, that's why this whole thing was so bland before, because they wanted to catch your ass with this part right here. If they had done that, I would have been like, at least a matinee or maybe even a full price. But because they don't want, the movie wants to be PG-13. It wants to it has a kid in there. It wants to try to have too much at one time. If this had committed to the best idea in the movie and gone completely dark and berserk at the end with the twist that they were introduced, I would have been like, all right, that's pretty good, man. Like I said, Stallone is good. I even think the kid that they have in here that he makes friends with, damn, I forgot what that kid's name is. Oh, Javon Walton. I thought he was good with him, man. I thought the kid was actually pretty good. He wasn't as annoying as I thought he'd be, even though there were moments I thought this kid was psychotic, man. There was. Did you see that? There's about 2 moments where that kid tells the bad guy, he's like, he's coming for you, and then they cut the scene on a face where he makes like this.
Yeah.
Did you see? Like, damn. Okay. Listen, as we said, this just doesn't stand out. From all the similar movies that are out there, from all the shows that are out there, this is it's a very crowded genre, the superhero genre, man. You can copy, you can mimic, you can be inspired, you can do homage, but you just cannot be bland. That's the worst thing right here. You could even be bad, I think, because if you're bad, at least you got something to talk about. But if you're bland, you're nothing. You're just there.
You couldn't shut up about Morbius.
Yeah, no, exactly. They were talking about, man, I can't wait till it's Morbin time. You know, it's like create a whole meme movement and a whole phrase. You know, if you're mediocre or if you're bland, you just slink away and just kind of crawl into a hole and just stay there, man. And people forget about it. And I think that's what's going to be the deal with this. Yeah, for me, it's just a rental, man.
When I talked about Unbreakable, when you had Unbreakable, you had the older guy, or at least middle age, who had superpowers, but had a kid encouraging him the whole time, walking around in a hoodie. Water plays into his powers somehow, and this, in so many ways, this felt like if Unbreakable had been the kind of hit where the studio was like, we got to make another one right now, and M. Night Shyamalan said, I don't want to do that, and they just said, well, we'll take it from you and give it to somebody else to do it. That's what this felt like, where they didn't increase the budget at all, and they just had the studio force somebody to make another movie. It's not just a rental, but it's where it needs to be.
On Amazon Prime.
Yes, like not even on Netflix, which a lot of people on Amazon Prime that has a much lower viewership.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, if you watch it, I don't think it'll be a complete waste of time. But don't you sit your ass there and feel like you got obligated. you got stuff.
Yeah,
to
you
do.
can quit any time.
Yeah.
Is the movie long?
No,
No.
it's short.
Yeah.
At least that has it going for it.
Yeah, and it stops when it needs to. I would even shave about 5 minutes off of it myself. So
I really want you to see that de-aging scene, though. I want you to see it so badly.
And they proud of it too, Stallone. Like, yeah.
You're like, what?